Okay, so we have a pair of functions here, a function f, which has three ordered pairs in it, and a function g, which has three other ordered pairs. So what the function f does is if you give it the value 4, it returns the value 1. So this is an x you give it and a y it gives back. If you give it 5, it gives you back a 2. If you give it 6, it gives you back a 3. Apparently this function subtracts 3 from whatever you give it. So 4 turns into 1, 5 to 2, 6 to 3. And then we have a function g, which does something different. You give it a 1, it returns 2. You give it a 2, it returns 4. You give it 3, it returns 6. It isn't said here, but it looks like g is doubling whatever value you give it. So we're going to be looking at those functions in combination here. When you're given something like f of g of 1, you essentially start in the middle of this and dig your way back out. So this means begin with the value 1, take that value and put it into function g, see what it gives you, then take that result and pass it on to function f. So if we begin with value 1, we give that to function g. It says here g will give you back the value 2, which means now we're here. G of 1 turned out to be 2. Our next step is take the value 2 and give it to function f and see what f says about it. So we take 2, we give it to f, and uh-oh. F doesn't know what to do with the value 2. 2 is outside of f's domain, so all we can say about this one is that it is undefined. It doesn't explain here what to do if f is given the x value 2. So, all right, better luck next time maybe. F of g of 2, similar idea. We start with the g of 2, which says, what happens to function g if you give it a 2? Answer, it returns 4. So, our next step now is take that 4, hand it to function f, and see what we get back. Well, if you give function f a 4, it returns 1. So we can say f of g of 2 equals 1. F of g of 3, well, g of 3 is 6. And then f of 6 turns back into 3. F of g of 3 comes out to 3. I'll do these last ones a bit faster. G of f of 1 means take the number 1 and give it to function f. Function 1, well, we can't do that. As we saw earlier, f doesn't have an answer to the input 1, so this one's undefined before it even gets started. We don't even get to the function g before we run into trouble. Undefined. G of f of 4. Okay, so take 4, give it to f. F says 1. Now take 1, give it to g. G says 2. Always start in the middle and work your way out. And finally, take 5, give it to f. F's answer is 2. Take 2, give it to g. G's answer is 4.